Hello. Today we are discussing about the another database tool, that is datagrid. Okay, this is also just like the previous tool, data list. Okay, but some little bit difference is there. Okay, first, how to create the data grid. Okay, okay, this is uh, to display the, that is for connecting the data. Here also two methods, with using the database, without using the database. First, you look the without using the database. Okay, here in C# scripting, that is, if you define the data table, generally see here it is showing some error. Okay, actually related to this module data table, it is not included. Okay, if you not included the particular module, it will show the error. How to include that module? Okay, if you know the module name directly, you can include it by using the using keyword here. See, okay, if you don't know the related the module, just to place the mouse pointer on particular keyword. See here bottom, it is showing show potential fixes. Just to move the mouse pointer there and click it. Okay, what are the modules and some classes related to that one? It will show here. Okay, in that one, we select the exact one. Here for data table, the module name is system.data. Okay, just you click on this particular option. See, automatically it will be included here. Okay, when you included this one, see here, automatically the error will be gone. This is a way to include the modules in scripting. Okay, now first you see the output, how the data grid will appears. Okay, see here running the project. I see the output. Okay, this is a data grid. Okay, previously by using the data list, it is displaying just like a labels. Here the information is displaying like a records. Okay, then how to define the data grid? Okay, for that one, between the div tables, as usual, I'm defining the ASP colon data grid. Okay, this data grid ID I'm given data grid 1 run at server. After that I'm closing the data grid. Okay, this enough for creating the data grid. Okay, without database. Okay, in this data grid I want to display the data. For that one, here I define the table. Okay, this table data type I declared as the data table. This is a predefined class type. Okay, now the table is defined with the name of table. Okay, in table, what are the columns you want to add? Okay, here I'm adding the ID, name, email. Okay, these three columns I am adding to the table. Okay, for that one, we define the object table name, that is table dot. Okay, what is this ID, name, email? Those are columns. Okay, that's why here I define the table dot columns adding to the table. That's why dot add of which column you want. Define the column identification name. You can give any name. Okay, that is table dot columns dot add of ID. I'm adding ID to the table. That is one column. Next, another table dot columns dot add of name. Okay, here I'm adding the name to the same table. Next, email. After adding these columns to the table, next you add the rows to the table. Okay, by adding the rows, here which order you define, in same order you have to add the rows order. Okay, that is first you define the ID, next name, next email. See here, I'm adding the rows to the table. That is table dot rows dot add. First, the parameter should be the ID. Here I'm giving ID is 101 within double quotations. Next Mahesh, that is name. Next another one, email address. Okay, like that. How many rows you want? You define the rows. After completing adding rows to the table, then you add the table to the data source. What is data source? That is which tool you taken for the data. That data tool name, that is the data tool ID name, you have to define it. Okay, here what is the data tool ID name? Here I'm taken as data grid 1. Okay, this is a data source. You define the data source ID name, that is data grid 1 dot data source is called table. That means you are assigning table to the data source. After assigning the table to the data source, you bind the data to the database. That is data grid 1 dot data binding. Now the table is binding to the database. Okay, this is a way to create the temporary table. Okay, adding the columns and adding rows to the uh, particular table. Okay, after completing this one, save the both ASP scripting and C# scripting, then you run the application. Okay, this is a output of the data grid. Okay, see here ID, name, email. These are the column names. Next to under this everything, it is a rows. Okay, here I added the 4 rows here. Okay, this is a procedure to create the data grid and adding data to the data grid. Okay, next one, how to add with database to the data grid. That is in next topic, we'll discuss about that one. Okay,